everybody. This is Sree from Biz Buzz. What matters the most in your business? Sponsored by My Work Belt. My Work Belt is a all-in-one software, particularly catering to service-based small businesses in America. And you can run your business, and that's where I am having today's the guest, Angie Giltner, and she is the coach and global master coach on businesses. And Angie is particularly helping women-owned businesses. And Angie has numerous years of experience in coaching, and she's passionate about helping the business leaders who are women and how to balance their life and running the business. Angie, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you today?
Excellent, excellent. Thank you very much for joining me today. And so we were talking about on on the business side of it, right? What is the mechanisms that they can do? What are the different activities that they can do for small businesses? All right. So how do you
Yes.
categorize these activities? There is many activities that can be done. So how do you categorize those activities?
So I categorize them in two different categories. One is business building activities, and the other one is revenue generating activities.
Okay, great. So when you say business building activities, then there is, I can, if I understand correctly, why you are categorizing them differently. Some of the people, they think, oh, when I do this, I'm not going to get a dime, so I don't care for doing it. But behind the scenes, it is needed in order for you to have the business continuation. Is that the premises here when you are categorizing business building and revenue generating?
Well, it is, but the other piece that is, I think, even more important is most of the time, entrepreneurs spend 80% of their time on business building activities. And those are things like creating newsletters, revamping their website, creating content for their social media, um, all of those types of things. Where,
Networking and talking to the prospects and customers.
well, that's actually a revenue generating activity. So I have a
Ah,
little bit of a
interesting.
different spin on business building versus revenue generating.
Tell me
And
more.
so I recommend that people spend 80% of their time on revenue generating activities, and that is networking, having prospecting conversations, and responding on your social medias. Now, posting is not responding. Okay, so responding is sending direct messages, having some type of conversation, not just thank you for your comment to my post. It's much deeper than that. It's continuing the conversation, it's setting those next appointments, getting people in on to download your lead magnet, all of those types of things. And so many business owners, they only spend about 20% of their time sitting there, and then they're wondering why the revenue isn't coming in. Where if they would just shift their thinking to 80% of my time needs to be spent on revenue generation and 20% of my time on business building, that's what moves the needle when it comes to increasing your revenue.
See, did you create any list of activities that goes into one bucket or other? How does a I'm a small business owner. How do I know which one goes into what bucket?
Yeah. So anything that you are doing that is creating awareness. So
Mhm.
newsletters, your website, um, creating content, those types of things. That's all business building. Looking at your KPIs, your finances, adjusting your marketing strategy. All of those are business building activities, and they're all essential and they're all critical to be accomplished. But then 80% of your time should be spent on prospecting, networking, some type of outreach, whether it's cold calling, direct messaging, responding, that type of thing. Those are the activities. Creating your business plan is and then following it. That's the important piece.
Oh, very interesting. You mentioned that although everybody says social media marketing, but actually you slice that into two pieces. And
yes,
that's very chewable in a way if you slice that into two pieces, right? Simply
yes,
posting is simply a business building activity, creating a market awareness.
yes,
So I don't have to feel that, oh my God, I'm doing so much work and get nothing. So that's actually brilliant concept. You slice that one big uh, piece into a small chunks, into two small chunks. Now,
yes,
when you come to the responding, your business building activity is probably 25% of your business building activity goes into revenue generating activity. Because if you post 20 different posts, you may be receiving responses or comments on 5 or 10, and then the engagement goes on more than that. So you don't have to disappoint knowing that what you're doing. Is that make sense?
yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Right, right. So when there is a business owner newly starting, right? There are multiple different kinds of situations for any business owner, particularly small business owners. Right now, when they are newly starting, is there a different percentage of activity that they should be doing between business building and revenue generating, or when you're in the middle of the way, or you're in the success path? What is that should be looking at?
So I recommend 80 right off the bat, and continuing on, because you want to establish, especially as a new business owner, you want to establish good habits. And so right off the bat, spending 80% of your time on revenue generating activities. And I want to say one more thing about responding on social medias. And it's not just who responds to your stuff. Creating a dream 100 list of, these are the top 100 people that I would love for them to do business with me, and then go out and find their posts, make comments, not comments like, that's a lovely picture. No, find ways, ask them about it, inquire about, oh my gosh, this was such an amazing picture, I would love to hear more about it. Where was it taken? I can only imagine the fun activities that you were doing whenever you took this picture. I would love to hear more about it. Finding ways to respond and engage with those people, so that you become top of mind, so that you become memorable, that you are engaging with them on their platforms with the things that they're interested in. And that's what helps quickly develop those relationships. So
Ah,
that's another little strategy that
no,
I
that's a
recommend.
very, very powerful concept. I never heard of that. Oh, I mean, I wish I knew about this a long time ago. But this is really powerful strategy. I have. It's interesting you mentioned that. I have maintained always 50 top connections, right? But I never thought of playing in their playground opposed to having them to come to my playground. So this is completely different concept, and it is actually fair if you look at it that way, right? If you don't be part of the inner circle, you're not going to get a piece of the cheese,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So how simple is that concept? Yet we all ignore that. We all have such a hard time to practice it, right? Great. What else we got for the business owners to play?
Yeah. It lets people, that's one of the ways that you can show that you're truly interested in them, because it's people over profits always.
Uh-huh.
And people who do it the other way, they don't usually last very long. um, so we want people over profits always. And so it's just a great way to show them, like, I'm interested in you. I want to learn more about you. I want to continue the conversations with you. And, and when you have your Dream 100 list of, these are people I would love to do business with, and you're continuously engaging with them, chances are really good they're going to snag your lead magnet. They're going to schedule a discovery call with you and have that. They're going to
When they
meet
are
you for
ready.
coffee or, whatever. Yeah. So
It's
it's,
incredible. So if I can summarize it clearly, so whether you are a startup or in the midway through or in a position to exit, you're always having 80-20 rule, which is most
yes,
powerful rule. We all know that. So
yes,
you categorize all your activities, put a 20% of your time, effort, energy into the business building activities, and make the 80% of your time, money, energy into revenue generating activities. And
yes,
that is a more in line with into the success strategy for particularly small businesses. Now, when you come to that next level, create a Dream 100 prospect and follow them and engage them on their postings. Post to you expect them to engage in your posts. So simply turn the table around and go into their playground and start playing with them to become friends with them,
yes.
opposed to you expect them to come to your playground and play with you and become a friend. That's a wonderful concept, and thank you very much. There's a lot we learned here within this short 10 minutes period. Oh my God, you are full of knowledge. That is excellent. Thank you very much, Angie, for being part of the show here and sharing your knowledge.
Thank you so much. It's been an honor and a pleasure.
Excellent. Again, until next week, here, Angie Giltner. And thank you very much for all the audience. And hopefully, you learned something from Angie today. Bye bye.